Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that time again. Beautiful Wednesday. We got episode 76. So everyone, let's take a good breath of fresh air, get our posture up, and let's fucking get serious. Goddamn beautiful day to be alive. Okay, we're here with my friend Juan from ThatWasEpic. Thanks for making the trip down, because you live in Mesa, right?
No, I live in Tempe, pretty much Chandler, South Tempe, but yeah, like about a 45-minute drive.
So you got a girlfriend right now?
It's the first question, huh?
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, I do actually.
Do you?
Yeah.
It'd be hard not to living on that side of town.
I mean, I try to stay away from the ASU area, you know, and not, to be honest, yeah, there's attractive women, but not very quality women, you know. Mostly wife material. Like
college girls.
College girls that want to party, that have a lot of side dudes and stuff, you know. You know, they're playing that game.
They're looking to get down on the D on the regular.
On the regular, yeah, and a different D every other day.
Yeah, fuck yeah, for sure. So, yeah, a lot's been going on for me. I've been trying to look at some different land, possibly to buy some land to put a barn dominium for a gym. But I'm trying to figure out if I should do a barn dominium with an apartment on top and live there. But then Mariah needs horse property. But it's just a whole big thing when you start getting into loans for houses compared to loans for land, all that kind of stuff. You own a house yet?
Yeah, I own my house in Tempe. Yeah. So you're trying to move your facility to that new place or what? Or is this always going to be here?
Well, no, I'm trying to think of instead of just paying a fat chunk of rent every month, I might as well just buy a place and slowly pay it off. So I'm kind of trying to look around for maybe 2 acres or acre to put a big barn dominium. You've seen those before?
Yeah, I have seen them actually. One of my exactly what you're talking about. One of my cousins in Mexico lives on his farm, and same thing. He has his little operation going on below him, and then he has an apartment above. He has a winery going on. That's what he does.
Damn, that's pretty badass. So you wearing your Rolex?
Finally got a Rolex. Yes. Damn. I remember last time we were talking about it. I was saying I hadn't had one yet.
Where'd you end up getting that one?
This one came from Neil from Timepiece Trading in Miami.
Fuck yeah! You just hit him up on the Insta?
Yeah, Insta, and yeah, now I just get all my watches from him.
That one's fucking sick, bro.
Thank you, Vicky. Yeah, it's one of my pride possessions.
Yeah, that's fucking beauty. When did you start getting into watches a little bit?
What it's been like. I've had this one this was my first one. I got this like 6 months ago or so. Mm-hmm. So ever since 6 months ago, have not went back. Got my second one now like 2 months ago.
It starts to get addicting.
Yeah. I mean, at least they don't really go down in value. You know, like they say, you're not really spending money when you buy watches. You're just converting money, right?
Yeah.
So I don't really feel so bad getting them, you know. You can always flip them if you get sick of it. You know, I don't think I'll be a gold guy forever.
Yeah. I mean, I was watching this Robert Shatowski guy. He's like a financial guy, and he said just cash is pretty much pointless. So you might as well put it into something like watches and Rolexes constantly hold their value.
Yeah, I actually pulled money when I bought this watch. I actually pulled money from crypto before everything crashed. You know, I had a bad feeling about it. You know, I had Dogecoin and all that stuff. Just pulled out all the money I had. Just bought a few watches. You know, I didn't have that much money into crypto. You know, I was just kind of screwing around with it, having fun.
How did you get that bad feeling? Like, how did you get that feeling and you just were like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna pull out"?
I mean, it's because I didn't have that much of an investment, anyways. And it's not like I knew what was gonna happen or anything like that. I mean, stuff was already tanking. You know. Dogecoin had already tanked from 75 cents to, I don't remember what I sold it at. Maybe it was like at 30 something, but I had already lost a lot anyways, you know, so I just didn't want to risk anymore. So I was like, you know what, let's just pull out. And that went to shit.
Any Bitcoin, Ethereum or anything?
Nothing.
Just fucking got rid of it.
I have a little bit of Dogecoin, but that's just for no reason. I have no idea why. No idea why. I'm just like maybe in hopes Elon Musk will shout it out one day again, and I'll just cash out at that moment.
Right. But fuck yeah. So now you're releasing a video every 2 weeks?
Right now it's been every single 2 weeks. Yeah. We were doing every week last year, but we were having to force a lot of videos out. You know, this year is going to be all about not forcing anything, just quality over quantity, and yeah, I mean, we're doing multiple ideas per video as well, not just a single idea video. So like we're releasing a video tomorrow or the next day, and that's going to have 3 ideas in it. And normally we would have made 3 videos, but we're going to focus on different ideas and just transitions into each segment, you know.
So how come you decided to do that? You were just a little bit rushed because you see there's some people that are like, oh, you do a video every day on YouTube, and then there's some people who every couple weeks, just quality over quantity. What made you decide that?
There's just a few videos that I'm not proud of, or that they're not necessarily bad. I kind of wish they weren't online in a sense, because I felt like I just rushed them too fast. So I didn't get good enough scenes. The reactions weren't that great. So I just, I think if you put more time and effort into each video, in the long run, they're going to get more views, and it'll level out in the end anyways.
Yeah.
Rather than just trying to push everything up, push so many things out. I mean, I know people that can get 3 good videos a week, but we just haven't been able to do that yet,
Because you've still been editing the videos yourself?
No, I have an editor, but I think it's because we go out to do public videos. It's so hard to control every situation. Like if I was just doing challenges at my house or something like that, then we would be able to bump out a lot more videos. But since it requires us to go out into public, talk to people, it just takes way longer, you know?
Because I notice on your thumbnails and stuff, you don't really put any text or anything. You just put a scene from the video.
Yeah, for the most part. Now the last 2 thumbnails, we started adding a little bit more text. I don't want to get too clickbait with it because people are so used to me being so honest in my thumbnails. But our last 2 were a little bit more edited, and we're actually slowly now going to move in that direction of just like vibrant and like kind of cartoonish,
Almost like Mr.Beast style.
Yeah, I mean, that's what seems to work. Like, it's because of him that I started doing giveaway videos anyways. And I mean, I'm definitely very, very inspired by what he does. And not just him, though. A lot of people do that whole just thumbnail thing, I mean, he says it's all about title and thumbnail. Content doesn't even matter that much, If you got that, vibrant thumbnail, perfect title.
Mm-hmm. And when you think of the title, do you just talk to your boys a little bit and just kind of brainstorm it, or you just do it?
No, we'll always like mention the title, like maybe, we'll say something, and then if everybody's like, oh, that's it, it's just like a light bulb effect. If we say a title, no one reacts, we'll probably keep spitting something,
Mm-hmm. So was Mr.Beast like one of your, not really mentors, but guys you looked up to? That was one of your main guys that were like, damn.
Yeah, I looked up to him a lot, and it definitely inspired me to see like his growth and how he just, I mean, he had been coming up for a long time. He's been doing it for over 10 years, I believe. And he really, really blew up like on his 8th year, his 7th or 8th year of like being consistent. And we're only 8 years in total. So like, it just makes, I mean, it's inspiring to see what consistency can accomplish,
Yeah. I mean, it's freaking, the YouTube game is just, it's awesome, but it is a little bit stressful too.
Very stressful.
Like when you open up you just thought you did a great video, you open up the video and it's an 8 out of 10. How do you just like what the fuck?
I definitely like that they do that now. They show you how well it's doing and they rate it and everything. But yeah, I was getting a couple 8 out of 10s, 9 out of 10s last year towards the end, and that's partially why we're gonna be putting more effort and more time into the videos. I hate seeing that.
Yeah.
We need to see at least 3 out of 10, minimum. Mm-hmm. But the last 2 videos have been 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10. So
do you keep up with like algorithm changes? Not really.
I mean, I try to. Right now, it seems like what they want is shorts. That's where the algorithm's going now. They want us, but it's still kind of confusing. Like, I'm still not sure how that's going to go. Right now, I'm looking at the income coming in, and it's still like just a couple dollars and stuff. Even though they say they're splitting revenue on shorts, that only started a couple of days ago. So it's probably gonna take a week or 2 to really see the results. But we'll see. A lot of people are saying it's gonna lower our income but increase subscribers. People are going to be blowing up like it's like people with it's going to be so easy to get subscribers that it's not even going to be that valuable to be to have 10 million subscribers anymore.
Yeah, because have you ever set like a goal for yourself, like this year I want to be at this many subscribers at the end of the year? Do you set little goals like that or not?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for this year I want to hit 10.
Yeah.
That's the main goal for subscriber count. But
yeah, because I mean, we've been kind of staying consistent with my YouTube page for probably getting close to a year now. I'm at 37,000 subscribers, and my goal at the end of the year is 100,000. But it's pretty cool on shorts and all the videos that you can see how many people subscribed from that video.
Yeah,
like it's fucking insane.
Yeah, the very first short that I posted brought in about 50,000 subscribers.
Damn.
So like I can definitely see the power of getting views and stuff, or viewers. But
does a lot of yours come from your Facebook? Because you kill it on Facebook too.
from Facebook to YouTube. I don't really feel like they subscribe to YouTube too much. Honestly, they're most of the followers on Facebook I feel like are older people, you know, and they don't have YouTube. I look at the comments and stuff. I always see a bunch of grannies, and so
Yeah.
I think it's like a whole different demographic.
So right when you click upload on your video, you're already thinking about the next video.
Yeah, I forget about it pretty much the next day. I don't like to think back on the video I just dropped. We move on straight to the next one. Yeah.
And do you have like a pretty good little schedule going on what days you shoot? Or is that just kind of shoot him a text, let's go rip it?
Pretty much, because like I go based off of how I'm feeling, which we always show up. We always do the work, but sometimes I'm not feeling the idea, and I always like to have fun. I always like to enjoy what I'm doing, and the viewers can tell if I'm not having fun while I'm doing the content. So sometimes we'll just plot that day and not even go film, and sometimes we'll just go out and film, you know. It's kind of all over the place, but I recently went to San Diego to collaborate with FaZe Rug, Brian, his name is, and I saw his filming schedule, and I was super inspired. He uploads 3 videos a week. He had it down to a T. So we're trying to get more into something like that, you know, because right now we do film. Ideally, we will film like Tuesday to Thursday, and then we'll send the footage in on Friday, and the video will be up on Sunday or something like that.
So you send off your footage and have it edited?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, my editor's in Egypt.
No way.
Yeah.
How'd you meet him?
Well, how did I meet him? He DM'd me. And then I saw some of his edits and realized that he was a monster. I was like, all right, let's do this. I mean, editing is actually really expensive here in the United States. You know, it's very expensive. So most people are going overseas where it still works out for them to edit it at a lower price, you know. And
you just like Google Drive it?
Yeah, exactly.
Google Drive.
Yeah, it's very simple.
Dude,
yeah.
That's fucking badass.
What about, who does your editing?
JX.
Oh, okay.
We've been working with JX now for how many years, Jay?
Probably like going on 4.
Going on 4 years for the Timbo Sugar Show, and we just started at my room in my extra house for the Timbo Sugar Show, and then we ended up moving here, and he teaches jiu-jitsu at my academy too, so part of the boys, and it works out good.
That's good, yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. So I seen you're starting to get a lot more into health, or you might have been into it for a long time. Health, eating good, and taking care of your body.
Yeah, definitely.
What kind of morning routine you got?
Well, I wake up and I like to have breakfast right away. You know, oats or, you know, just a protein shake, depending on how much I eat the night before. Go straight to the gym. I work out and just go straight to filming after that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have some good energy. Mariah and I have been doing this thing where before our coffee, we try to get our 30 grams of protein. 30 grams of protein, and wait at least 40, 50 minutes before we do our caffeine. Heard it from some doctor, Andrew Huberman. But I've been really trying to set my house up like it's just like a ultimate relaxation spa. So I bought like some nice red light bulbs from Amazon. I
see that on your stories. That looks relaxing. Is that like infrared or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's red light therapy. And I guess there's tons of literature and like scientific articles coming out about the benefits of it. And they actually have a place in Scottsdale called Mito Red Light that sells them. But
are they just bulbs?
Well, there's bulbs you can get on Amazon, but the one I got is like a big like board thing. Which
it's a box and get in it? Okay. I see.
You can just sit in front of it.
Oh, I see.
So in the morning, I'll do my waking up app for the meditation, do 10 minutes on my back and then 10 minutes on my front. And it's hard to say. It's like, wow, it really helps. I mean, it feels like it does. It's relaxing. And I guess there's a bunch of proven benefits on it. But so I've been doing that. And then I got a nice filter for my shower. So it's nice, good, clean water. And then we have the hot tub and cold plunge. So just trying to create a fucking nice spa.
Is this just for yourself, you and your family?
Just for me and Mariah, my girlfriend. Just so we look forward to going home. And it makes it hard to travel though.
Yeah, because you got to stay at luxury hotels and stuff now.
yeah, right. Because do you have like a chili pad or anything for your bed?
A chili pad?
Yeah, what
do you mean?
It's a mat that goes over my bed, and it's hooked to these 2 boxes, and it runs water through it. There's ones that do air also, but you can set the bed temp to 70 degrees or 60 degrees or 100 degrees.
No, I had no idea that was even a thing.
Yeah, it's fucking nice, dude.
Who sets their bed to 100 degrees?
Some freak who maybe they're sick.
I guess somebody that lives in like Antarctica or North Dakota or something.
Yeah,
you know?
Yakutsk, Russia, where it's majority of the time it's -50.
Yeah, yeah, it's like that in North Dakota too.
Fuck.
That's I used to drive semis back in the oil fields over there, and I remember driving when it was -40. Had my air hoses freezing up while I was like on a site, so my air hoses literally froze, and I had to sleep on site that night.
So did
Crazy.
that? What age was that?
I was 19, I think. Yeah, I was 19. 10 years ago.
10 years ago. And then when did you? What age was it? Like, okay, I'm not gonna work a normal job ever.
I started the channel when I was like 20 or 21, 2014. So as soon as I started that channel, I knew what it was capable of doing. So pretty much then.
Yeah, that's fucking badass, dude. It's badass because I was reading this big article that they have. I shared it with a couple people, but it's called The Psychology of Money. It was this 18 wealth lessons from the psychology of money by Morgan Housel. And he was talking about, he said the highest form of wealth is the ability to wake up every morning and say, I can do whatever I want today. People want to become wealthier to make them happier. Happiness is a complicated subject because everyone's different. But if there's a common denominator in happiness, a universal feel of joy, it's that people want to control their lives. That's where I feel so fucking lucky. And I feel like everyone should strive to be able to do that. Because everyone wants to, a lot of people get a job or they go to college to work 40 hours a week. And they're like, oh yeah, I make 150 grand a year, 100 grand a year. But they're trading their time.
Yeah, and they're in debt. A lot more than that probably.
Yeah. So it's tough. So I'm fucking thankful for YouTube and thankful for all these things that we even have the opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. Me too, honestly. Do you feel like you could wake up and do whatever you want? Do you you doing whatever you want every day?
Every day.
That's badass, yeah.
And it's just like, I want to spread the word on how people can achieve that.
Yeah, definitely.
Staying committed. So was there anybody, like when you were coming up on YouTube, did you do a lot of research on like how to blow up on YouTube, how watching other people, how to edit and all that stuff? How did you do a lot of like your research?
Well, when I first started, what was really popping at the time, since I was going to do candid camera videos, what was really popping at the time was being awkward. Weird, kind of like Loft, from Andrew Hales from Loft, the channel's called. He was popping at the time, and that's who we were inspired by. And he would basically just film himself walking up to people and being extremely weird, like not even weird, but like just awkward. It's hard to explain, but in a lot of it, he was just being himself. But he wasn't like necessarily a weird guy. It was just kind of interesting. But so that's what we started doing at first, and that's who I was studying, and that doesn't really work anymore. But yeah, I mean, that's who I studied in the beginning.
Did you have a buddy that you like paid right off the bat, or was it a buddy just like, hey, let's make these videos together?
It was actually I was doing drywall at the time when I'd stopped truck driving, started doing drywall, and then that's when we really started doing the channel. We were filming after work, after construction, like after 5 p.m. And I had my brother-in-law, who was helping me do construction at the time, hold the camera. And yeah, he was doing it for free. We were just kind of having fun. We had a little vision at the time.
Which is pretty badass because a lot of people, they get off work and they just want to fucking sit there, take a rip of the bong, sit there on the couch and watch a show and just shut their brains off. But you were like, fuck it, I'm going to film and create.
Yeah, and I had my friend Big DOS TV. He already had like 200,000 subscribers at the time, so I knew it was possible. You know, as soon as you see somebody that you know do it, you instantly can adapt, you know, and realize like, oh, this is very possible. So I knew I can do it, and that helped really inspire me to not, you know, want to just go straight home after work, even though we were tired and the sun was going down. Our goal was to just get one scene a day. That's all we were doing. We would just go out, get one scene, go out 6 days a week, and then we would accumulate a video by the end of the week. And
were you ever worried about like what? Well, because yours are all family friendly videos, so you weren't worried as much about like your parents seeing it, friends seeing it, or being vulnerable.
I definitely was worried about it. I mean, most of my family's on Facebook, at least. Well, they're on everything now because of my stuff, but in the beginning they were mostly just on Facebook. So I can remember when I first started the ThatWasEpic Facebook page, the anxiety that I felt, you know, because I didn't give a shit. At first, I just sent it out to all my family members, but I was terrified. But I knew, because I have a massive, massive family, lots and lots of cousins, you know, that comes from my Mexican roots. And I knew if I just sent it out to all of them, I would at least get some sort of traction, you know, and a few of them would hopefully share it. But yeah, I was scared. I was terrified of what they were going to think. And a lot of them thought I was weird as fuck and wondering what the hell is this guy doing? I mean, even my dad was like, son, you really think you're going to make money on YouTube? You really think so? I'm like, yeah. Like, he wasn't like necessarily unsupportive, but he just didn't want me to lose all my money again because I had lost a lot of money on previous investments that he had warned me about, and I didn't listen.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, our parents are always looking out, trying to find what's best for us, but like times are changing.
oh yeah, yeah. I knew they were coming in. Like, I knew the whole YouTube industry was going to take over at the time. I didn't think it was going to get as big as it is now. Like, now it's just insane. Like, but I definitely saw the vision. Like, we saw the gold rush.
And about how many subscribers did you really start seeing people that are negative in the comments and just fucking hateful in the
Probably
comments?
10,000.
10,000.
Yeah.
And then did you look at those and did you have a certain, because it seems like on YouTube, if you're insecure about anything, that YouTube's going to call you out on
They
it.
will
Someone's going to
shit
call
on
you
you.
and you're going to be like, fuck.
Yeah, it's really important to be self-aware, especially about your faults, and even call it out yourself, because then people will have your back. And if you try to ignore your faults and say, you know, and act like that's not true, like, everybody will eat you alive in the comments, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And owning up to shit. Owning
Yeah.
up to shit and just taking ownership for sure.
Yeah, very important.
Yeah, but I think that's the toughest thing for anybody starting a YouTube is just being vulnerable and just having their high school friends, having their family judge them on the content they're making.
Yeah, that's very, very important. I mean, the average person it's the average person that's really watching YouTube, you know? So if you're not opening up and being vulnerable, it's going to be really hard to relate to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so do you do any investing?
Absolutely, yeah. I buy a lot of land in Mexico. I don't own any land out in the United States or any other houses besides my personal house. But we do have. Is that me?
I think it's Sugar calling real quick. Tell him.
Oh, yeah, answer him.
Sugar Shane. Hey, we're on the pod right now with our brother Juan.
Oh, what up, Juan? Wait,
Yo.
which Juan? That was epic?
Yep.
The Juan in a million.
What the fuck? That's fire. All right, well, give me a call later, brother.
All right, Deuce.
Be quick.
Yeah. So you buy land in Mexico?
Yeah, so I bought a 250-acre farm in Mexico to plant pecan trees. Right now we have it 20% planted because we had been working on our water rights. It's so hard to get legal water on your land over there. So what we did I wanted to make sure that the trees were even gonna do well with the land and stuff. So we planted like 2,500 pecan trees, and then we built like a pipe system to my next door neighbor's farm, which technically is illegal. But you know, don't nobody tell anybody.
They won't.
But so that's how, and the trees they're doing great. They're like 3 years old now, and they're already starting to produce. They started producing on their second year, just a little bit of nuts, but they the ones we planted will pay themselves off on their fourth year. But like last week though, I finally got the water rights. So we have our well already dug, you know, got our piping system set up, but it was just very, very illegal to set that up.
How many employees you got?
Well, it switches up. I mean, for the most part, my dad runs the whole thing. That I moved him to Mexico to basically do that, so I don't have to be there too much. And then we got we got Sam, which is the person that's been watering the farm for me, which is the farm next to ours. And then basically, the most people we had working at once was like 30 people, but it's seasonal. You know, for example, like when we're sticking the trees in the ground, we need tons and tons of people there, but on average, it's like 2 to 3 people running the farm.
That's fucking awesome. And your dad's handling it?
Yeah.
250 acres?
Yes. Wow. Yeah, hoping to have the whole thing planted by, what are we, 2023? By 2025, the whole thing will be planted.
How did you find the 250 acres? Just Craigslist?
No. It was actually one of my relatives. My dad's one of my cousins. Yeah, one of our cousins had this land that he bought years ago, and yeah, we just bought it from him. You know. Yeah.
I bet that's been a pretty cool little thing.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I wanted to do with my money on YouTube was generational wealth. You know, I didn't want to go out and buy my mansion and Lamborghini right away. I wanted to retire my parents, start the farm, and yeah, just make sure everybody's safe.
God, I feel like, I mean, that, I guess, depending on how good your parents were, but that almost should be everyone's goal, is just make enough money to be able to take care of your parents.
I think so. I think that's every man's responsibility, you know, you know, to take care of their family.
Yeah, for sure. So who taught you about taxes?
I don't pay taxes.
Oh,
I just ignore that.
yeah, I do too.
I'm hoping that nothing happens about that. You know, I heard after 7 years that it just disappears. So
Yeah,
I'm kind of just taking that route.
So we're good, bro. They fucking stress me out so much. They stress me out. I'm trying not to let them stress me out. I'm trying not to, but self-employed people, it's just like, holy fuck. And literally, I'm just not super smart. So trying to figure out these taxes. Thank God for my girlfriend and shit.
Who does your taxes?
I have a CPA lady, and then I have Mariah kind of doing the bookkeeping too.
Okay.
But it's tough. It's tough with just all the little loopholes and all the little things that the CPA doesn't want to tell you because they don't want to get audited and they don't want to get sued. So they're not going to go get dirty with you a little bit.
Yeah,
It's just tough.
I go through this Tyson Haas. He's it's like an entrepreneurial accountant, entertainment accountant. I mean, I connected Sean to him. I don't know if Sean's still working with him. I think he is though. But he does my taxes. He does Big Doss TV's taxes. Steven Shapiro. You know, I don't know if you know Futuristic, the rapper.
So he does all the bookkeeping and everything?
Yeah, payroll. And yeah, he does it all.
Then you don't have to stress about it.
Yeah,
Bit.
not one bit. He just sends me the information. I sign it and then pay it.
Damn. See, I need to do something like that.
Yeah, I can connect you with him if you'd like.
Yeah, that would be sweet. That would be sweet.
He's been doing pretty good. Big Doss connected all of us to him, and he's been with him for like ever since the beginning, honestly.
I've had a lot of friends in fighting that get fucked from taxes because fighting, you get these money in such big chunks, but then you give your percentage to the gym, give your percentage to the manager, and you don't even think about taxes. You think, okay, now this is my money, and then at the end of the year it's out, and you got to pay taxes on it. A lot of people have been fucked.
Yeah, that's happened to a lot of YouTubers too. You know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the money just comes in too fast for them to handle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm curious too. I'm curious about the shorts. What kind of bread they're going to start bringing in.
Yeah, Mr.Beast was tweeting about it the other day, saying this was like the best time ever to become a creator. You know, that they just started splitting 50% revenue on shorts, but I still don't know how much that's going to turn out to be.
Yeah.
I hope it's a lot. I mean, if it ends up being a lump sum, we'll probably just start doing short content only. Just going out and doing 1 minute original shorts and just pumping out multiple a day.
Because how many shorts are you doing a week right now?
Right now we're just doing like one. We're uploading one short from the video that is basically to be released. We're basically uploading shorts as teasers in a sense.
Ah, sweet. So are you religious at all?
You know, I grew up religious. I grew up Mormon. I'm no longer a Mormon. That's my whole family's no longer Mormon actually, but we were Mormon for a while.
What made you guys just be like, okay, maybe this isn't the right route for us?
You know, I'm not even sure. My mom is a seeker. You know, we've bounced around different religions. Not too many. I would say mainly just Mormon and Christian. And I still hold many Christian beliefs. You know, I believe in Jesus. I believe in the Bible. But even as a kid, I remember going to the Mormon church, and no disrespect to them or anything, but even as a kid, I knew that it wasn't for me. And that when I was of age, I was no longer going to participate. But
nothing stuck out to you to make you think this is probably not really for me.
Yeah, it's just it was just a pretty possessive church, and I don't like how invasive they were into people's daily lives. Which it's not necessarily a bad thing. They do their, you know, everybody can do their own thing. But yeah, it just wasn't for me. You know, I don't like churches like that, and they asked a lot of tithing. You know.
And that's
which they have their reasons, but like I said, to each its own. Just wasn't for me.
That's impressive that your parents, though, because I mean, I feel like most older people or the older generation, they find their beliefs and they're stuck in them. Nothing's gonna sway them, especially with religion. No facts, no nothing's gonna sway me from this religion. I'm keeping my faith strong. So that's impressive that they were like, you know what, this isn't really for us anymore.
I think it's important to keep an open mind, you know, and like I feel like my mom has always had that mindset that and she also gave it to me of like, I don't really care what the truth is. Like, I just want to know what the truth is. I want to understand what reality is and live in it. You know, I don't want to just believe something with no proof, no science, no facts, no good feeling about it. Your intuition will even tell you a lot. I mean, it doesn't take a book to tell you how to be a good person. It's pretty common sense. So I mean, but I still believe, that Jesus was a real man and that actually walked the earth. I don't necessarily go to any Christian church though either. But I do love reading the Bible. I find it really interesting. I see it as a good handbook, for just being a good person.
What translation do you read?
I actually switch around a lot because I know the Bible's been changed up a lot. So I try to find the oldest ones possible. And then I actually go online and I'll even find people that
almost translate it.
People that are translating it, like scholars that have been studying the Bible for years, and will help you understand what certain things mean. And I was gonna buy. I was looking them up. I found a Bible from like the early 1600s, and I wanted to buy an original copy, but it was over $10,000, and I was like, I wonder if I can just buy a replica.
I wonder if it was in Greek.
maybe, but they have replicas though for much cheaper. So.
Yeah, I'm always interested too in just so many different religions. There's so many different ones out there and different folk tales and everything. I'm always interested in that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and they're all interesting. If you can have an open mind, if you can just read the information without actually being attached to it, you're going to learn a lot from most religions. They're all kind of talking about the same thing.
Yeah, that's good shit. Okay, so switching topics here, we got Jorge Masvidal. He's coming out with his own promotion. We got Anthony Pettis boxing Roy Jones Jr. That'll be interesting. Roy Jones Jr.'s got to be in his 50s. Let me ask real quick. How old is Roy Jones Jr.? 54 years old.
And he's fighting?
And he's boxing Anthony Pettis. It's weird for those guys. I mean, like older legends like that. I feel like they have a problem with being just so attached to that identity that I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter. Every time I come in contact with someone, they're asking, "When's my next fight?" They're just it's fighting. That's their identity, is being a fighter. And I think they have a tough time going away from that. That's why you just see so many legends like Fedor Emelianenko, all these guys that are just too old to be fighting, and they just get fucking battered, and they go out that way, which is sad and it sucks.
Yeah, you don't want to go out that way. That's for sure. You want to go out a legend. So this guy, what was his name again? The 54-year-old?
Roy Jones Jr. Can't be touched.
Has he already retired, and is he coming back or what?
Oh yeah, he's been retired for a long time. I mean, I think he fought Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, the two old birds, 2 years ago or something for a Triller event. So who knows? Are they doing it for money? Are they doing it because it's like, but goddamn, at some point you got to think about your brain.
Yeah, exactly.
At some point,
you get a concussion.
And being around old people, like we were in Mexico, we were around old people, and 74-year-old, or she was 84, but she thought she was 74. She just, every little thing you'd say, she'd forget. So you forget you're going to get old, and that brain, you got to take care of it.
Yeah.
We got Jose Aldo versus Jeremy Stevens, also on that same card, which will be sweet. Previous in MMA, Jose Aldo dropped Jeremy Stevens with a liver shot in MMA, but a boxing match, that should be pretty sweet. And then we got Jacare Souza, legend in jiu-jitsu, versus Vitor Belfort in a boxing match. And then we got Paul Daly versus Anthony Taylor in a boxing match. So that'll be pretty interesting. Some big fights for Jorge Masvidal in his card. So that's pretty sweet. You been keeping up with any fighters lately?
Dude, honestly, I don't keep up with hardly anybody. I just tune in once in a while when I'm with a buddy. I obviously watch Sean's fights and stuff, and but that's about it. I wouldn't even say I'm the biggest fan, I guess, of fighting because of that. But it's very entertaining, though. I enjoy it every single time I'm watching.
Yeah. When you're not working out or you're not doing anything, what's kind of like a hobby that you like to think about? Just creating mostly?
Honestly, yeah, just creating, and literally just working out and creating our merch company that we're building. We're trying to push Live Epic. That's our new brand we're starting, and that's basically what I think about 24/7.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Is it easy for you to shut it off, or is it always good?
No, it's really hard for me to shut it off. Like I have a hard time sleeping. constantly thinking about how to improve it, you know.
Do you do any sort of meditation?
Yeah, I used to do it a lot more. I used to do it every single morning. But lately I just do it whenever I basically feel like it or can, or not can. I have plenty of time, but I feel like my whole life is becoming more of a meditation. I'm getting really good at kind of being present in the moment. You know, as long as you're, you know, like meditating is all about just learning to be present, right? Focusing on your breath, being here now. Another way to do that is to just go on a walk, you know, maybe go stare at the trees, see the different colors, the shades of green, you know, maybe look at the bark and see the different patterns and stuff. And I feel like that works just as well. And that's what I've been doing lately, trying to go on walks without music and just be conscious of what's around me. And
yeah, I think a lot of creativity comes from that. Just being in the moment, following your breath, and just being present. I think a lot of creativity comes from that compared to just like always on Twitter, always on Instagram, always on YouTube, and your mind's just filled with all this bullshit.
Yeah, no creativity comes from that. You know, it takes away from us a lot of brain power. Yeah, I mean.
Do you think a person could be like, do you think a lot of creativity comes from just being a healthy person too?
100%. I think all creativity comes from being a healthy person. I mean, I get most of my ideas from working out. You know, when I'm at the gym pushing real hard, especially because you're not really thinking about anything, that's when you have opportunities for random ideas to just be given to you, you know, be downloaded into you in a sense. You get your brain spinning, you know, you're feeling good. That's when you're happy about things, and that's when it's easiest to know that you have a good idea, I feel like. So that's like the main reason I work out is really because of what it does for your brain.
Yeah. And you don't really eat like shit and drink pop and stuff?
No, I do not.
Smoke cigarettes?
No, absolutely not. Hell no. If you guys smoke cigarettes, stop following.
Yeah, for real. And even the vapes.
Oh, even worse, man. Like, who knows what's actually in those chemicals and stuff to make those flavors that don't even exist, you know? Like,
yeah, just fucking yourself
it's
up.
embarrassing.
So they had a Chinese spy balloon flying over Montana.
What the hell is that?
And over the Atlantic Ocean.
That's where you're from, right? Montana?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I bet that had to perk your ears a little bit. Like, what are you doing to my people?
But I think they have I think in Montana, at some of their military bases, they have like nuclear warheads and shit.
So there's like, so there's something big going on there that they need to investigate. And is it confirmed Chinese spy air balloon?
I think they owned up to it. The U.S. military has shot down the Chinese spy balloon over the Atlantic Ocean. While the balloon was off the coast of South Carolina, it was shot down by U.S. military fighter jets on Saturday afternoon, according to Fox News. A senior U.S. military official said that the F-22 was used to bring down the balloon at 58,000 feet, adding that an A-9X missile was fired.
Was there any people on board it?
On the Chinese balloon?
Yeah.
I don't think so. It looked like there was a video on the internet when it got shot and it just popped and it just had a bunch of powder.
Yeah, it wouldn't seem like there would need to be any people on it. These days, everything is just, you know, drones and remote activated. Like,
yeah, the new maybe COVID variant that they spread.
God damn it!
I know.
Watch and see. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, yeah. No,
I wouldn't even be surprised anymore. I'd be like, what's next?
Yeah. So do you listen to any podcasts?
I mean, yeah, I mean, listen to a lot of Joe Rogan. Not too many. You know.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Rogan's hard not to listen to him. He's too fucking good. Dude.
He's great. You know, so much information, such random information too, stuff that everybody should know about. And
like, I like to come into my podcast kind of prepared and kind of a list of things that I want to cover. But him, it just seems like he wings it. And when we went on there, I mean, 4 or 5 years ago, it seemed like we just sat down and he wings it, and just whatever topics come off, you go off on.
So he didn't have no paper, nothing there. He wouldn't like stop, maybe look at his phone for a second.
Nothing.
Just went for it, huh?
It's crazy.
I bet he does some sort of research the night before, and also he probably already knew so much about you guys. Like I mean, he's a host, right, of UFC,
Yeah.
so he already knew so much. Like, he knew what to talk about, and
Yeah, he's just a curious dude.
yeah, and he's already been. I mean, how long has he been doing this podcast? For almost a decade, right? Like,
Yeah,
he was
or-
like an
or
originator.
more.
So when you guys went on, he had already been in it at least 5 years. So yeah, he has a lot of practice in doing that, you know.
You ever thought
Best
about
of the best.
starting a That Was Epic pod?
Absolutely. Yes, that's actually what I think we're going to do on the second channel. That's been the vlog channel for years now, and it's coming up on 1 million. It has like 910,000 subscribers.
That one's called Almost Epic?
Yeah, almost epic. And Before, we wouldn't put any vlog material in the main channel videos, but lately we've been adding a lot of vlog material now. So I'm thinking that we're just going to stop uploading vlogs to the second channel and start focusing on getting good vlog content to insert into, you know, our main channel videos and turn the second channel into a podcast.
Damn, that'd be sweet.
Because I got the room for it. We're already set up for it. You know, we have enough. We know enough people to get it going. You know, and yeah, I mean, I think that would be a lot of fun. Honestly, that's something I would love to do. You know, there's a lot of ideas I would like to talk about, get across, and yeah, I would have a lot of fun with the podcast.
Yeah, I freaking enjoy the podcast. I feel like it's not even work. I mean, I feel like you sit there and it just forces you to sit down, not look at your phone, and do a bunch of shit and just talk to someone. I really like it.
Yeah, and engaging in conversation. You know, you're learning about all kinds of stuff, you know, you didn't know, learning about other people. And yeah, I mean, human communication was the original drug, right? That's what humans need.
So when you do your podcast, are you going to hope to do it like once a week or once every 2 weeks, or what are you thinking kind of schedule wise? Once
we start it, I would love to do it once a week, you know, and I would love it to be one of those mobile ones where I'm able to like go to people as well.
It's pretty cool how Steve-O does that.
Yeah, Steve. A lot of people do that. Even the Nelk Boys do that. Even Logan Paul. I feel like honestly, most podcasts these days are set up to be mobile because a lot of people just don't want to travel and to go on to a podcast or something like that. I guess that's what I think at least. But
yeah, I mean, for the Timbo Sugar Show, that's kind of what we're dealing with. It's like, okay, we got to train. That's the main thing. But we really want to travel and do more podcasts too. But so after fighting, we'll probably travel a lot more to do shows. But do you travel a lot right now?
We travel a fair amount. This year is definitely going to be all about traveling and collaboration. Like I said, we just got San Diego is nothing. That was just a little starter. We're going to Mexico very, very soon to my hometown, and that'll technically be our very first That Was Epic trip outside of the country. After that, we're going to go overseas, take everything to Europe. You know, we want to do what we do all over the place. You know, go to Africa, go not pay people's rents, go at their hut or something. I don't know, just go help out different people in the world. You know.
Yeah, that'll probably blow up on your page.
Yeah, and it'll feel good too, and a little bit of spread a positive message. And
God, it does make you feel good too. And I swear, because even
that's why I sleep at night.
Even your video, I was watching some of your videos this morning. It almost just like brings up that emotion that you almost want to get teary eyed. Is that the emotion you're trying to get from people?
I'm not even trying to necessarily get any emotion from people. We're just trying to spread a positive message. You know, I sincerely enjoy doing those videos, and from the bottom of my heart, like it makes me feel good. And it's addicting, honestly. Like I feel like that's what true happiness is. It's being able to help other people, being able to help your family, being able to help more than just yourself. You know, that's what. So I don't think I've ever been as happy as I am now once I started doing videos like that.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. So when was the first time you were really able to help your family, where it really was like, fuck yeah, we're proud of it?
In 2019, when I first bought the farm. And when I first started, when I first started giving money away in the videos, I gave back to my family also, like off camera. Mm-hmm. So it was in 2019 around the cutting earphones video that blew up like crazy, and just money started flying in. So
and then you started to be able to support your parents a little bit, and I bet that felt good.
Oh yeah, my dad was still doing drywall at the time, and I was able to send him home. And now he says he gets kind of bored. He's like, well, this is what retirement is. Like now he like whenever the farm is completely caught up, there's nothing to do, he'll even go back to work for a month or two just to make extra money for beer or like to build in his gym. You know, he has his entire gym, really nice gym over there. We got the mirrors on the wall with the TVs and stuff. So
workaholics that age, huh?
Oh yeah.
That's how my dad is. Like if I hope I can get him to retire soon, and then he'll still work.
What does he do right now for work?
Right now he works for the city, and he goes around and fixes different like parks, park bathrooms, park everything. So he's just kind of cruises around and fixes those up. But he's super fucking beat up. He was born and raised on the carnival. He met my mom on the carnival when she was 15 and he was 17. He got her pregnant, and they traveled the carnival. Dropped out of school.
Is this you? That like one the baby?
That was my brother.
Oh, okay.
That was my brother. And they lived in Montana, both dropped out of school when they're in 8th grade and just traveled on the carnival. So Yeah, they had a pretty crazy life.
Are they still up in Montana?
My mom lives in Canada. They got divorced.
Okay.
They got divorced. We were super heavy Jehovah's Witnesses growing up until I was like 9th grade. They got divorced and I started to live with my dad, stopped being Jehovah's Witness. And that's when I was able to start boxing and wrestling and start getting into sports. So, yeah, but my dad's beat the fuck. He got in a wreck on his 4-wheeler, snapped his collarbone completely, and then didn't go get it fixed. So
what?
It healed like this. So his whole body's twisted, and he's dealing with a lot of that right now.
That's crazy. They didn't get that fixed. I mean, God, that must have been painful.
I mean, you're traveling around on the carnival. Like,
yeah, I
guess.
like,
yeah. Chat GPT, everyone's talking about this. What is the use of Chat GPT? One of the key advantages of Chat GPT over traditional search engines is its ability to provide contextualized and processed information. Chat GPT can understand the context of a search query and provide results that are relevant and specific to the user's needs by using natural language processing techniques. Wow.
So basically, it's a universal search engine.
The fucking brains behind that, dude. It's like, holy fuck.
Yeah, I still haven't really like messed with that myself. Like I've heard a little bit about it. I still don't fully understand what it is. It sounds like it's just a brain, a computer that can eloquently talk to you.
Yeah, which is freaking crazy. I think there's so much hype around Chat GPT, and the tools like this have potential, but it can't do everything. It's not magic yet.
My manager was telling me that you can even you can find out the best titles and stuff for your videos. That it can do searches based on whatever idea you're doing and see what has gotten the most clicks, and it will tell you the most accurate title for the video you're doing, which is something I think I should try.
Yeah.
I mean,
do you use anything like TubeBuddy?
I don't even. What is that? I don't even know what that is.
TubeBuddy's pretty cool actually. It like helps you with your SEO or whatever, but then you can type in a title and see it'll rate it or something, and then it'll tell you what you're missing with tags, and then in the description, and it helps you optimize your YouTube video so it gets caught up by the algorithm, I guess.
I see. And
it keeps track of, I don't know, it's just like a little buddy to help you grow your YouTube.
I don't do any of that. I probably should try that out.
That's pretty badass that you don't, though.
We don't do hashtags, or it's literally all just organic.
Yeah, because you started almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's been 8 years, about that.
Damn, because people start now, it's going to be a lot tougher, isn't it?
It's a lot. I mean, yeah, in a sense, it's really easy to get subscribers now, though. It's like really, really easy to go viral nowadays. But it's definitely not as valuable as it used to be. Like getting 1 million views is not what it used to be. Mm-hmm. Maybe cash, not even cash wise. You know, it used to be more. But 1 million views on a video before was just like, wow, viral. You are viral. But now viral, I feel like viral is like 10 million views on a video.
Damn.
You know, that's what they consider viral now.
Yeah.
Like.
So was there any videos that really made your subscribers just boost?
Yeah, the
heavy boost.
Cutting earphones. When I first dropped that video, we got 1 million subscribers in 7 days.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, we were #1 trending YouTuber for 1 week.
Wow.
Above Mr.Beast. That's when I first got in contact actually with Mr.Beast, and that's when he first followed the channel. Or that's when he first followed us, and
he just contacted you.
Yeah, he was just like, congratulations on your success. Like he just noticed the channel going crazy and
just blew up.
Yeah, it just blew up. We already were past 1 million, I believe, at the time, but I remember we jumped so fast. I mean, we got 1 million in about 7 days, but I think we got about 2 million in like 3 weeks.
Wow. That was insane.
It was a fat check.
And it's badass with you that you're not having to do anything like super fucking crazy each video. Like a lot of YouTubers, they just try to up the next one and it's just crazy and try to do illegal shit and try to do dumb shit.
Risk their lives.
You're doing like family friendly stuff and it's still blowing up. I mean, that's even more badass.
Well, the goal is to be universal, you know. The goal is to make content that's for everybody. Mm-hmm. So like, I mean, yeah, I would prefer, just trying to make it universal.
And then with your podcast, are you going to keep it similar like that, or are you going to talk about deeper subjects?
No, I'm going to talk, the podcast, the reason why I haven't started it yet is because I'm going to talk about deeper stuff and get really personal and talk about who I actually am. And and there's no telling what'll come from that.
Yeah, that's going to be fucking sweet, dude.
Maybe I'll get canceled.
yeah, we'll fucking see. We'll see. So what else you got planned this week for Super Bowl?
For Super Bowl, not. I mean, honestly, that's on Sunday. Every single day this week, there's something going on. I might not do anything Super Bowl Sunday. We're thinking about, if anything, we might go to the stadium and do a video outside of the stadium, like where I'm wearing a different jersey, like the Chiefs jersey and then the Eagles jersey, and then maybe doing like an interview on the opposite team. Chris is the diehard football fan, so if we end up doing that, he's going to basically script that idea and come up with the questions, and we're just trying to do something, maybe trying to spot the number one fan of each team or something like that, asking really deep questions that they probably don't know, and if they answer it correctly, give them money or something like that.
Yeah.
Like trying to have fun with it. But we also may just not, because there's just so much going on this week. That's going to be a last second decision if we have the energy. But today we're gonna do a funny video. Tomorrow we're gonna start another video with. Have you heard of MD Motivator?
No.
His name's Zachary. He's been blowing up big time, and he's another really wholesome give back channel, and he's mainly on TikTok and Instagram. I think he has like 5 million subscribers on YouTube as well, but he's mostly active on TikTok and Instagram. And we're going to do a big give back video all over Phoenix, just kind of like a compilation of everything we've already done, kind of like paying rents, just surprising Uber drivers a bunch of cash. We're going to go to the library, give away laptops, just like we're going to go all over Phoenix.
Dude, hell yeah. Hell yeah. One would be cool is like even at a farmer's market.
I have actually thought about that before. They do that every single Saturday in Phoenix, Saturday mornings. Don't have an idea for that though, but yeah, I mean that's just there's always people there that are happy, right? And
what's the closest you've gotten in the 10 years to like someone? Has anyone punched you?
No, we've been close. Let's see, in Hawaii one time there was a tourist, and I went up to him with 2 holes cut in a magazine. I saw it in a cartoon once, creeping on people, pretending that you're reading, but they can see your big ol' eyes easily just bulging through. And this guy was, I guess, having a fight with his wife, and he was an American. He was there on vacation. Big guy. He was real big. And I went up and just started staring at him. He instantly started cussing at me, saying, "What the fuck are you looking at?" and shit. And I just kind of ignored him for a little bit, and then I walk away, and then I tried to come back to tell him it's just a video, which I tell everybody afterwards. And this guy got so aggressive, literally was like, "Get the fuck out of my face" and shit. And he got up, he stood up and tried to like do something, but we just walked away. We were like,
yeah,
fuck off, dude. Like,
yeah.
Well, that was it though. I mean, I feel like we carry pretty good vibes, pretty good energy everywhere we go, and I've always been able to diffuse the situation.
Yeah, your timing's good. Your timing's good, especially when you're snipping the earphones and you can see them just boiling.
I mean, what would you do if you turn around and you see a tall guy holding sharp scissors? And also we only ever do those on campus. I don't think I'd ever do that in public, because on campus, like, no one's gonna risk getting kicked out of school. You're not allowed to fight no matter what happens. So that's the reason why we keep doing that only on campuses.
Yeah, downtown Phoenix.
Oh, they would try to do something, and people carry guns. Like, that's like a good enough reason to freaking pull a gun out, even. Like,
right?
Yeah, I don't want to risk that. Because like we have talked to some pretty crazy people. Like I've given money to a murderer before. I gave him $1,000. The way I found out too, I didn't even know this guy cried. Like, we had a wholesome interaction and everything, and this guy, I gave him $1,000, and he needed it so badly. He gave me a hug. It was like, "Thank you, sir. Thank you." Started bawling his eyes out. A couple months later, I found it in the comments. This guy's on the news, and he killed his girlfriend.
Damn.
And that was his second time murdering too. He had just got out of prison for a previous murder. So I'm like, damn, you just never know who you're talking to out there,
Sheesh.
But made a murderer cry.
Yeah. You keep up with much of the Andrew Tate stuff?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I like Andrew Tate. I follow him. I keep up as much as I can. I definitely think they're holding him in jail without any like proper like reason. I think there's a lot of conspiracies. And I definitely don't think that they're holding him and trying to cancel him because of misogyny. Mm-hmm. But I don't know exactly what's going on. They're still in jail right now, right? Both the Tate brothers, and you've met him. What kind of vibe did you get from him?
Just get along with him right away. Just a cool dude. He just like was smiling, joking a lot, good energy. Yeah, I like him too. I mean, he freaking motivates. I mean, we're pretty motivated always, all anyways, but he always motivates you just to be a fucking top G.
Yeah, I mean, every time he talks, the way he talks is just so mesmerizing. You know, like a lot of the stuff he says is pretty borderline. You know, and maybe a lot of it I don't agree with, but most of it is just be a good man. You know,
Yeah,
be a
work hard.
strong man, work hard, take care of your stuff, don't be lazy, don't do drugs. You know, like I think the real reason why they're trying to cancel him is because, you know, he has the hearts of young men, which is like probably one of the most powerful positions anybody can be in, is all the up and coming young men looking up to you. You know, they're going to listen to anything you say. So he starts talking about powerful people that control the world, or the government, or Illuminati. I don't know who's in charge, but like if it doesn't matter if what he's saying is incorrect. The fact that he has the hearts of young men, they're gonna listen to him, do whatever he says. If he says don't buy this product, they won't buy that product. You know, and if they say don't listen to the government, don't vote for this person, they'll listen.
Yeah.
I think that's why they don't like him.
Yeah, I mean, especially if people want people to continue to be stuck in the matrix, and he's like, hey, you don't want to fucking be working for these people. You don't want to do this kind of shit. Yeah, maybe they are, and they see the influence, and it's crazy. Do you keep up? Do you watch like CoffeeZilla or any of that stuff?
What did I watch from him last? Not really. I don't keep up. I think I saw. Didn't he do something on Logan Paul?
Yeah,
I saw that trending everywhere. I don't know. I didn't watch
Dylan Dennis recently. He hit up Dylan Dennis to make a post about money, and Dylan Dennis didn't even click the link, and she was sharing it on his profiles for like $1,000. Just made him look like a fucking idiot. What about like Jake Paul and stuff? Do you keep up with them much, or just whatever's in the headlines?
Whatever's in the headlines. I mean, I used to a lot more. I haven't really kept up with the Paul brothers ever since before the forest incident, you know.
So that when you saw that kind of made you want to distance?
I mean, like I already thought his personality was a little weird, you know, really forced and robotic and stuff. And so it was. I remember subscribing to his vlog channel on his very first vlog, and then seeing the how fast it grew. And I feel like that's more of the curiosity I had in it, not necessarily the content, just seeing the rhythm. How hard he worked, and how much he would upload was inspiring, and that's more of the reason I was into it. But yeah, but after a while, I stopped liking that crazy high energy personality, and he was very unself-aware, which he's a lot more now. But I don't really follow him anymore. No, Jake Paul, no. I mean, I'll watch the next fight he fights. You know, I find that entertaining. It's interesting. What
about KSI or anything?
I don't really know much about KSI at all. I know that him and Logan are partners with Prime. I know that he's a content monster. But
so was Logan uploading every day too?
Yeah, he uploaded every day for, I don't remember if it was a couple of years or if it was just 365 days. But he was like, I feel like he was one of the first people to do it that way. You know, I guess Roman Atwood was already doing that, but Logan really popularized it. Yeah, Logan really popularized it.
Have you ever thought about living in LA?
Yeah, and I would not.
Fuck that.
I don't like it. I don't like the vibes. I don't like the people. If anything, I'd want to move to San Diego. But I live in Phoenix. I could live anywhere I want to live, and I like to live in Phoenix because it's close to Mexico, and it's universal in my opinion. I mean, I need to be close to my farm. It's only a 7-hour drive. I can't fly into where I live in Mexico, so. And Phoenix is a great city. You know, it's on the come up. I feel like it's the next LA. You know, and.
Yeah, I love
I'll just
Phoenix
stay here.
too.
Yeah.
I love Phoenix too. It's like 9 months of the year. It's so fucking nice.
Yeah.
Not super expensive. Well, for what we do too, it's like the mecca for MMA.
Yeah, that's true. That's why you guys moved here, right?
Yeah, I moved here to train with Benson Henderson. He was the champion at the time. And I moved here and just started creating like a big community, and it's pretty fucking awesome.
So did you and Sean move here together?
I moved here, I think 2 years before him. Before him, and I was a professional fighter fighting for Bellator at the time, and I went back to commentate some local fights, and I remember seeing him when he was 16 years old kickboxing, and I'm like, yeah, he probably won't stick with it. Most people don't fucking stick with the sport. And then I saw him when he was 18, and he was fighting a college wrestler, and I went to commentate the show, and I'm like, he'll probably get beat up, because I know he's not from a gym who's very known for grappling. And then he armbarred the kid. So I was like, damn, this kid's talented. And it seems like he loves it. So after the fight, I said, hey, you can come to Phoenix and train at a real gym and stay at my house for a week if you want. You can just stay on the couch. And he just fucking like lit up. He was so freaking pumped. And I was like, this little fucker's crazy. He called me the next day. He's like, hey, Tim, on my way down. And he drove down, and then he got his ass whooped so bad. Every single practice. When I picked him up from the airport the first time, he was just like, yeah, we're going to go to the top. We're going to do all this stuff. I'm like, this kid has no idea what he's about to walk into. And then he'd come to the gym and just get whooped by teenagers and whooped by everyone. And even after some practices, he was crying and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, he's not sticking with it. And then he packed his car, saved up $2,000 and moved down. And then we got an apartment together and just kind of came up that way.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
We lived on Union Hills, and we had a little apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment that was $650 a month, and we just split it and just trained every day. And yeah, it's pretty badass.
So are you guys kind of like partners in this situation? Do you think you'll be working together for forever now, or is after fighting, do you have plans to keep doing stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I always wanted to make sure the friendship is first, because we're obviously business partners in some things too, but at the end of the day, we'll always be friends. Even if there was one day where it's like Sean doesn't want me to even coach him and he wants a new coach, I'm still always going to be his friend and try to help him as much as I can.
Is that something he talks about, ever moving on to a new coach?
Not really, because I try to find the holes. I mean, because I don't know everything, and I try to find the holes where there's experts in other areas, and I try to contact them and either get privates with them and come do the private with him and understand it. And yeah, we've had to bounce around to some different experts, but I don't think so. I think, yeah, we'll definitely probably be friends forever. I don't know why we wouldn't.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Tomorrow, I actually have a little seminar with 9 of the Cincinnati Reds catchers. The coach wants me to teach them how to scrap a little bit. He wants them confident on the field, so maybe if they get into it with another team or something. So tomorrow, me and Jakar Close, he's another one of my coaches here. He's in the UFC at 155. We're going to do a little 2-hour seminar. We'll probably do a half hour of boxing, a half hour of Muay Thai, half hour of wrestling, and a half hour of jiu-jitsu.
So what do you specialize in? Do you kind of specialize in all of that? I originally thought it was jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I mean, I started boxing and wrestling at 14, and then I started really training MMA full-time when I was 18. And when you train full-time MMA, there's so many martial arts that you have to get good at throughout the week, but I was still trained jiu-jitsu 3-4 times a week since I was 18. And then when I was about 27 is when I really turned it to full-time jiu-jitsu. 27, 26, full-time jiu-jitsu every single day, and really studying it and learning about the gi and learning about the no gi and just really like studying it.
How old are you now?
I'm 32.
32, okay.
Yeah, 32. So it's just been, and I've traveled to some different gyms, trained with, I used to train at Team Quest with like Chael Sonnen and Yushin Okami, Rick Story, Mike Pierce, Matt Lindland, a bunch of like legends in the sport. So I've got a lot of knowledge from them, and then trained with Benson for 7-8 years. Got quite a bit of knowledge too. So I enjoy giving it back.
Absolutely.
So it'll
That's
be
the way to live.
Yeah. So it'll be fun teaching the pitchers tomorrow. I'm going to have Jx, or the catchers. I'm going to have Jx do a little vlog of it. So that'll probably be entertaining.
Oh yeah, for sure. You got to film everything, you know.
Might have them scuffle a little bit, get into it a little bit. Yeah. So, all right, brother, we're right at an hour. Thank you so much.
That was fast. That was fun.
Yeah. That was epic. Legend of the YouTube game. Juan, thank you so much, brother.
Thank you for having me.
And if you guys want to help out, click the subscribe button. It helps me out a lot. And there's also a weekly newsletter. You can subscribe to the weekly newsletter. It's free, and I just try to pick out all the gems I've gotten from each week. So, all right, love you guys. See you next week.